Right, we're joined now by two bona fide championship contenders, Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin. Listen, fellas, it's been a pretty positive start to the year, certainly up until Portugal, I think, when, you know, by your own admission, you were not happy with the way things were going. But other than that, it has been a fairly strong start to the year. Would you agree with that, Elf?
Yeah, it's been a mixed start. Some good bits, some not so good bits. Portugal, of course, being the low of it all. So yeah, we now find ourselves with a bit of work to do to catch up, but it's still fairly early in the season. So
yeah, long way to go, and the positive thing is the pace has been there, hasn't it? So there's absolutely no reason why you can't close the gap back up. Sardinia, it's got good memories for you, hasn't it? I remember, I mean, it was probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago. It was a good while anyway, when Nasser Al-Attiyah couldn't do the rally and you stepped in, and end of the first day you were certainly in the top 5. So it's a special place for you to come rallying.
I think top 5 may be a bit kind there.
I was trying to be nice.
But yeah, no, it was obviously my debut here in a World Rally Car quite a few years ago, back in 2013. It's always been kind to me. It's fair to say, especially in recent years. But yeah, of course, we're here aiming for a strong result, like always. You
and Scotty, you've always gotten on well, and it's a good partnership, isn't it? It's like, do you remember like Carlos and Lewis? One was quite sensible, and the other one was a bit of a party boy. It's sort of like a modern day version of that, despite the fact that Scotty's soaring into his 40s. As you've gotten older, Scott, has things changed? Is your eyesight changing? Are you getting more forgetful?
Old.
Are you getting, you find yourself getting more forgetful, or leaving things behind you?
I feel like this is a bit of a loaded question, but anyway.
It was a loaded question. What happened in Portugal, Scotty?
I think it just shows that, like, that things can happen.
What happened at the end of stage 6? That's where your notes are on the table there.
All right, okay, that's good to know, because that's the first bit of news I've had of whereabouts they are. Bit of a surprise. Obviously, there was a big confusion at the stage end there, and I had to get out of the car, had helmets and notes in my hand, and then, yeah, clearly I must have left them there. It was either I left them or someone's nicked them.
Well, you left them, mate. That's where they are.
These things happen, people make mistakes, all the time. So I think it's just important to have like backup plans, because like I said, no matter, that's 180 WRC rallies I've done, plus all the European championships, and I've never done that before. So like, that's, I think, just an important lesson that, things can happen, people make mistakes, but just try and have like a backup plan, and don't panic, because the situation is what you have, and just deal with it the best way you can.
Before we talk about it, we have clubbed together. We thought, what can we get Scotty? So, I mean, this is, you attach that to a fairly sensitive part of your body, right? Nice and sensitive, and that to the pace notes. Yeah. So you can't leave them behind. There's also a little light there, okay, in case you land in water, and so that's for you.
Thank you very much.
There's also an electricity section to it as well. So if that breaks, you get electrocuted. A little buzzer will go off, so you'll never leave your pace notes behind ever again.
Okay, and what's the reach of this?
Foot. That won't be far. It won't be far. Well, you don't need a foot. Anyway, moving on. What was it like delivering the notes on the phone? Because obviously that's something that, as you say, is very different. You were prepared for it. Taking a photograph of every single page that's a hell of a backup, but obviously not something you've had to do before.
No, it's not. And yeah, I was surprised how well it went, actually, because like you said, the eyesight, as I'm getting older, it's not getting any better. But no, it went
Honestly,
well.
He's virtually blind. I don't know how the hell he did it.
I think Elfyn was more worried than I was when I was holding this phone going into the stages. So. But no, it went pretty well.
Would you agree with that, Elfyn? Did it go well?
It went much better than I anticipated. Yes. Fair play.
So it's not. I wouldn't say it's easy. Obviously, the book is a bit easier. Definitely could do it without too much problem. And went pretty well.
Happy days. Look, we'll talk about the rest of the year. Obviously, as you said, there's a long way to go. There is one goal now, and I think it's a good opportunity, certainly when you look at the pace that you have shown over the first 5 rallies of the year. It's genuine that you could end this year as world champions. There's absolutely no reason why not. What's the strategy? How do you go forward? I mean, particularly with this new points program and everything else, do things change a little bit, or do you just still approach every rally as kind of a sprint and you've got to go flat out?
I think in this game you always have to give the maximum of course, there's an element of managing how much risk you take, and it looks like now the risk needs to be upped a bit on Sunday. The reward for finishing rallies is less than what it was before, and there's more emphasis put on the Sunday speed. So of course that's important. Yeah, ultimately you have to try and get the most out of every rally and keep the mistakes to a minimum.
Do you feel pressure? Because obviously rallying is a confident sport, and so much of it is in your head, as Scott was alluding to there. You can find yourself overthinking it, and you can leave tense behind as a result of that. So how do you manage that?
Just focus on you. That's it. Do the best you can. What more can you do?
Listen, fellas, have a great weekend here in Sardinia. I know it's a special place for you, in particular you, Elf. So listen, wish you all the best of luck. Let's keep this championship tight all the way to the end. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.